How's it going, guys? Figured I'd show you some of the good things I got at the Smithtown tool meet, which was yesterday, Thursday. I don't know what the date was. October something. How's that? 22nd maybe, 23rd, somewhere in that zone. Don't have a calendar. Okay, so what did we get? I tried to take a picture of this when I was there, and it kept getting washed out. Probably because of the color and the sheen of it, and there's not a lot of crisp definition on it, because these lines are all rounded over. And this was given to me by Scout Crafter, John. Okay. I made a video talking about, hold on, this thing's hitting me in the head. I made a video talking about how my father worked for Fuller Brush. And as you can see, there's the word. See, my phone's working good today. Tried to do this yesterday, couldn't get it to focus. There's the word Fuller for Fuller Brush, and that's a Fuller Brush salesman. Okay? I find it kind of unique that it is a pinkish color. I would say that it's a mixture of pink and purple. It almost looks like taffy. Okay, it's a letter opener. And I made a video that my father worked for Fuller Brush, which he did. He worked, I know, throughout the 60s to like 71 or 2, the latest, somewhere in that zone. I don't know if he started in the late 50s, not really sure. The way it was for him growing up, he was one of 7, so he had 6 brothers. Well, I had six uncles, however you want to word it. And you graduated high school, and you had 2 choices. You went into the military, or you went to my grandfather's barbershop and you worked there. Those were your 2 choices. So some of my uncles went to the barbershop. My father went right into the military. Came out of the military, and I think that's when he met my mom, and then whatever. So I know he was in the military in the early 50s. So whatever. To make a long story short, I think he started at Fuller Brush in the 50s and made it to like 71 or 72. So I made a video because my friend runs a Hyundai dealership. And if this is the main road, then there's a road that goes down, and at the back of that road was Fuller Brush. And the Hyundai dealership's right on the corner. And the Hyundai dealership used to be, it was sand salvage, it was salvage liquidators or whatever John called it, because it did change names, but it was sand salvage first. I remember going there when I was really young, in like the, like mid-70s. I remember going there when my oldest brother was just able to drive, and all 4 of us went in my parents' station wagon. I remember buying fence there, and us putting fence in the yard. But I made that video. I showed Fuller Brush. I talked about to the left of it where it used to be the swamp and the toads and all that stuff. And that was it. I posted it. I just made it whatever, talking about whatever. Then he makes this video and he talks about not sand salvage, whatever the other place was after that. And I was like, oh, check out my video, because I did the Hyundai dealership, which I didn't say it was the Hyundai dealership, but the Hyundai dealership is what he was talking about. And I know he didn't know at the corner was Fuller Brush. So with that, we talked, and I said, if you ever find anything Fuller Brush related, just whatever. And when I met him at the show, he goes, I got something for you. And he gives me this. Like I said, I know it's a letter opener. And if I'm not mistaken, I thought he said it was his grandmother's, which I think that is super cool. Now, my father was not a Fuller Brush salesman. My father was a Fuller Brush driver. Okay, my father would come from Corona, Queens, drive out to Farmingdale, do his route, bring the truck back, and then go back into Corona. And he wanted to move out into Suffolk County. So if anybody's not that familiar with the way New York and Long Island works, is the 5 boroughs. There's Manhattan, Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx. That's the 5 of them. Okay. Then as you get onto the island, or you're already on the island with Queens and Brooklyn, the next one is Nassau County. That goes from, coast to coast. Then the next one is Suffolk County. And then that's where you get the Fork, and you get Montauk Point and Orient Point and stuff like that. So Farmingdale is just into Suffolk County. Literally. Because the road that Fuller Brush was on, so Fuller Brush was at the end of this road. So the main road, if you take it all the way to the end to the South Shore, you are only a mile, and then you're into Nassau County. So Farmingdale does border Nassau County. So, but he would do his truck route wherever it was, and he would look at the neighborhoods. Now, everybody knows in the 50s and into the early 60s, there was the big boom of housing. People from the war, all the things. And you hear about the Levitt houses and all those communities or whatever it was. And he would drive by this one community, okay? And this was early 60s at this point. And the homes that he was looking at were built in like 58. So they were a couple of years old, okay? A handful of years old. And he liked the area a lot. And back then, even Nassau County, but when you came out onto the island, it was all farmland. There were these tiny little airports, horses everywhere. It was awesome, And even the town he moved into, well, we wound up buying into, the main road through the town was only one lane on each side. You had to wait at the thing to go over the railroad tracks, the whole deal. And then it was just farmlands. I mean, me growing up there, I remember even in the main part of the town, I remember houses with horses, and it was awesome. It was still the suburbs. It wasn't the country. To my parents, it was the country, coming from, Queens. And for them to get a plot that was 75 feet by 100 feet deep, that was like, whoo. You know what I mean? This was awesome. And when we were talking about this, I said, if this is the house, even though it was L-shaped, this side of the house right here, he did I don't remember what the order was, but he did a pear, a plum, and a peach tree right off the bat. My father loved his landscaping and his trees and all his things. But, so to make a long story short, he wound up buying the community in 64, I think it was. And then my family moved out. And I'm the only one of me and my 3 brothers that was actually born in Suffolk County. Everybody else was born in the city. But like I said, this was awesome because I don't have anything Fuller Brush related. And that's perfect. And I appreciate it. Thank you. I know my mother would have appreciated this also, but unfortunately, my mom passed away about 2 months ago. That's why if anybody saw that quick video with the glove box, okay, I was having that glove box done, and there was no dates on it because my mom was still alive. I was having it done as a memory of her. And if you look at the video again, the heart is a non-parallel cookie. It's a sprinkle cookie. That's where the colors come in. That's why it looks a little weird when my friend did it, the same guy that did the rest of the car. And I said to him, I said, I showed him the cookie. I said, there's a close thing between me and my mom with these cookies. I said, I want you to put it in somewhere. I said, I don't care if anybody knows about it. I got to know about it. And he drew it up, and he drew it as the heart. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And that's why I showed that little pan, because when I asked them to do it, my mom was okay. By the time it got done 2 weeks later, my mom had passed. So with that, we put the dates on the bottom. So he added the dates in right before I picked it up. So I know she would have appreciated this. So to move on, what else did we get? We got these. It'd be cool if I had all 4 of them. But I thought that was pretty cool. It's cool that they're still on the card. No more torn cleaning rags. What kind of bolts did people have holding their plates on that they would shred in cleaning rags? No more scratched hands. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know what the era is for this. You know, the date. Not sure at all. They're flatheads. And they're that. So these will actually go on something. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use them. Then I picked up this. Brand new. I got it outside the box already. Okay. Someone told me that this might have been for someone that worked for the telephone company. Someone was looking at it. But I'm not really sure. I really don't know. And I don't know if the model number has anything to do with the date, going by the way this thing looks. Like 10-2 of 54 or 210 of 54. I really don't know. I don't know. I just wondered if maybe it's model 210 and it was made in 54. Because it's pretty old. And this is it right here. Okay, I know I will not do it on this car here, but I did open this thing up. You got to tilt the light up. I could tilt the light up because it's not by the car. And then you can undo the clasp, and it takes 4D batteries. And this was supposed to be like high tech. Came with the instructions. I mean, the instructions aren't even yellowed. That's what amazes me. But it says 4 standard flashlight these. What I found funny when I read to them is 73% brighter. They couldn't write 70 or 75, they wrote 73%. So, and then you could buy all accessories for it. So like I said, maybe this is something that was issued to people. Yeah, it's got an arrow, so you know to open it, and an arrow to close it. I think if you need those type of instructions, you shouldn't be operating a flashlight. But it looks like it's made to hook on your belt, so when you're working on things, and then it's got that on there, I'm not really sure. Obviously it pulls out, maybe, oh, to hang it upside down. So, yeah, I guess that's what this is. It's made of metal, no rust. It's like an on and off switch. So we'll get 4 batteries and test that out. I'm not expecting much. Okay. And last but not least, before we end this video, Scoutcraft, they asked me, I brought this car to the tool show. Okay, because there are a couple of guys there with classic cars, Studebakers, Darts, and a couple other things. Some guy comes with an old, I didn't look at the thing, I think it's a 64 to a 66 Chevy step side, 3/4 ton, 8-foot bed truck that I'd love to get, but that's another story. So I figured out, you know what, this is the last one, because we do it every 2 months. This is the last one until February, because they don't do it because of Christmas. Place is unavailable and all sorts of reasons. I figured, you know what, it's a beautiful day, it's a sunny day, I'm going to bring this car. Junior had to go pick up his car, so he was going to meet me there. So I figured, I'll bring the car, and I brought the car. And they loved the car. They had never seen it. And he asked me what I waxed it with. So I just figured I would show that real quick, and anybody that knows me knows what it is. We waxed it with this for what, 90% of the time? Well, it was that brief period where I couldn't get it anymore. And this is the original stuff. So I wound up buying some vintage. I think it was from the 90s. This stuff was, that the guy claimed. I don't really remember. Yeah, well, 89 to 93. And there is liquid glass still out there. Doesn't come in that container. Basically what happened was, this stuff's been around since I'm a kid. My brothers used to use it, used to love it. I mean, it's like glass. I'm not saying it makes the car shine any more than any other product, or it's slipperier than it. I really don't know, and I really don't care. I just know that I've always used it. okay? And at one point, it started getting hard to get. The price was more than any other wax at the time. And then all of a sudden, the price skyrocketed. Then all of a sudden, I couldn't get it. And I had friends in the automotive, the auto parts thing. My friend's, fiance managed a couple of stores or whatever it was. She located all the cans she can get for me. And that was it. That was the end of it. And I used it up and called it good. What could I do? And then I went to Finish First, and they claimed Finish First was this. And as soon as you put it on the car, you realize it isn't. It's similar, but it isn't. And the story I got was that Teaneck, New Jersey is like the key to this. The stuff that's made in Teaneck, New Jersey is the original stuff. The secondary stuff was made, I thought, don't quote me on it, I thought in the Carolinas, or the stuff that came out later on that said liquid glass on it was made in the Carolinas. Basically, well, the story I understand, I gather, I can't say if it's true or not, it's just a story I read, that there was a falling out of the people that own this company. I heard as much as one of the guys lost his marbles. But whatever happened, that ended the company, that ended the wax, that ended everything. And I'll be honest with you, when you use this stuff, when you use it, has a very slight mint smell to it. Okay, that's how you know if you got the right stuff. Has a slight mint smell to it. And every time I wax my car, by the time I'm done waxing it, okay, now this is going back forever. Even if the car's just going to go out and I took the cover off and I waxed the trunk, the roof, and the hood, I just wiped the sides down. Even after that, I feel weird. I don't feel right. I'm not going to tell you I feel wasted. I'm going to tell you I don't feel right. I just feel off from the fumes of it. Are the fumes potent? No. But I guess just whatever's in this, whatever's in this is not healthy for you. I don't know. All I know is when I heard that the guy lost his marbles, it made me wonder if it was him smelling the wax every day. And I don't even mean that as a joke. But to answer your question, that's what I use. This can is about half full. I have one more full can. And that's it. I don't wax the car as much as I used to. It's just, it hurts too much to do it. But back in the heyday, I used the car once a week. I waxed it once a week. So, well, that's it, guys.